Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. This is the IMBA Cup. This is the IMBA Cup 2. We're in the third round, losers bracket. Two extremely good players, Zock and FunkOff, both going with Aeon. Of course, on this map we did see a fight already between Arma and Lucian. There was Seraphim versus Aeon, and in my opinion, the Seraphim really dominating. But these two players going with Aeon. But of course, both of them know exactly what to do. Seen Zock many great games with Aeon, as well as FunkOff. And here it's air control. Early air control is really crucial. So while these two players are doing their build, let's see here, it looks like 4 pigeons, 4 mask extractors. Appears that Nefarious is Raging Squirrel. I think that's the last verdict. There were some other actually half the people in the tourney were a suspect at one point, but it's good that that's not what happened. So it's not a big deal. Just Raging wanted to be anonymous. Of course, Raging is an extremely good player. Usually plays with a tag team in team games, however. Looks like engineers moving out for Zock, but staying on the island. At least this one is thinking about moving on to one of the expansions. Second air from both players. Looks like Funk is a little quicker on the Hydra than Zock. Actually, Zock caught up pretty quick. So very similar from both players. Second air on the Hydra. ACU helping out, and engineers moving out to get the mask extractors, plus a lot of scouts. This is one huge advantage of a map like this for Aeon, is a scout can go on water, and early on that's so crucial to see where the enemy is coming and where everything is. So a big advantage over something like Seraphim. So it's going to be a nice bomber coming out now for Funk. It's putting at least 2 engineers, 3 engineers, and now Funk's ACU is going to expand to one of the islands. See an expanding engineer here from Zock to the right, and expanding engineer to the left. So that bomber Funk just made should have pretty good targets. But you can see this is quite a big map, so it takes a long time for an interceptor to get across. You see these scouts have been walking for half this game. We also see a bomber interceptor for Zock. He does not have multiple engineers on the factory. He's using a lot of power in his Tech 1 to Tech 2 upgrade for his mask extractors. So he's giving up a little bit of air early on in terms of numbers, but he's going to get a little more eco. You can see a pretty big power spam here for Funk, and he's got way more interceptors than Zock. Looks like these interceptors, yeah, this radar will pick up the bomber, and he'll take care of that bomber very quickly. So a bit of a waste there for Zock. Could have been killing that engineer. And elsewhere, a very important bomber for Funk. Will probably kill this expanding engineer from Zock. So early on, definitely an advantage for FunkOff. Would expect some transports from him pretty soon. See, upgrading any mask extractors. No, still Tech 1. He does have power storage. And here, this is an important engineer for Zock. He does not want to lose it. So actually, both of his expanding engineers are in a bit of danger. This one, FunkOff taking his time killing that, but total air control over this expansion. If Funk he does not have a bomber made yet. This factory is paused. Not clear why he's paused that. Where is he using all his power? Because he's not. It doesn't look like he's upgrading too much to T2. And one thing to know from these players, already in minute 5, no navy at all. It's very different from the Arma Lucian game. And yes, a successful kill for FunkOff, a big victory. And now the Auroras for Zock. He sent these nearly immediately into the game, and they're going to get a very important kill. So both players denying some expansions hello. This one's pretty much belongs to Zock. And a bit of an air fight, and actually Zock coming back. And Zock regains air. He already has multiple T2 mask extractor going for the third. So definitely a lot more teching for Zock. And in terms of map control, actually quite even. That was a great bomber there, taking out an engineer for Zock, fighting all over the map. And here is a nice place, scout, nice and hidden for Funk. Has multiple engineers, going to take over this expansion. Will be a really big boost for Zock. And now here come the transports. I still do not understand why this was paused for so long, because that allowed Zock to get back into the air game and this could be tragic. Once Zock figures these engineers out, it's going to take a lot of dancing from Funk to survive. He's splitting up all of his engineers. Funk is going Tech 2 now with some swift ones. Interesting to see how that turns out. You see the engineers for Funk all spread out so they don't get killed by bombs. And that was a hero interceptor, took out the bomber. However, this Aurora is still alive for Zock. This is a pretty nice Aurora force here for Zock. He can start moving those out. So at least three islands belong to Zock. FunkOff already not feeling too good. He's been much slower at taking his expansions. It does not have any, actually has a single T2 mass extractor here. And now the transport. Second try for Funk to take that island. And actually it's still quite even. There is now T2 power for Zock and 4 T2 mass extractors. So a lot of teching for Zock. He did very good damage with the units that he made. And actually it doesn't look like he had less units, so he didn't really pay in terms of units for going with the stronger eco. He just sort of took it. And once again, 6 kill Aurora here, one of the most important units in the game here, coming up in minute 10 from Zock, causing a lot of problems. Still no navy from either player. Tech 2 power for Funk, and you can see he's slightly behind. T2 power already finished for Zock. He's going to go for another one, and a whole bunch of swift twins. So very difficult to beat this type of air spam if you're FunkOff. More power for Zock and really nice build capacity, multiple factories. You can see here for FunkOff, he's still pausing this factory. Just finished his T2. Significantly behind. And now finally a navy for Funk. Funk has to come up with something really quick. He's got a drop that he's forgotten about, but it looks like Zock will take care of it pretty soon. Elsewhere we see some Auroras moving in from Zock and actually FunkOff, and Zock will be able to defend with a frigate. So there was a navy, actually a good navy started for Zock. And now you can see map control shifting. These aggressive Auroras. Zock has been using Auroras much better than Funk. And look at all these T2 mass extractors for Zock. He's just taking like he doesn't care, and actually going Tech 3 air. This is a Tech 3 air rush from Zock. That's pretty amazing. Funk getting shields, going to get a couple more T2 power, making some swift ones. And this naval battle might turn out to be pretty interesting. But you can see Funk has absolutely no weapons with which he can put FunkOff in any danger. He does not have air, and he does not have any T2 navy or any kind of naval control. He's actually going to be in quite a bit of trouble against Zock. Superior numbers for T1 navy. Multiple places on the map Zock is attacking. This frigate for FunkOff doesn't look like FunkOff is paying too much attention to the top side. And on another transport, FunkOff still trying to take this island, but with Auroras there it's going to be very difficult. Still Tech 1 navy. And now gunships for Funk. Funk has switched to gunships. He does have air control locally, but we should see this Tech 3 almost finished. Yeah, FunkOff says it is depressing. That's amazing to actually see FunkOff get beat this bad. It usually doesn't happen. But these Auroras have definitely been very effective for Zock, taking over this whole top side. This bottom side hasn't been really too much problems. But now it looks like early naval control. Still just Tech 1 navy. Being spammed, aggressive submarines here from Zock. Frigates and submarines. And now we got a big air battle. FunkOff versus Zock over Funk's base. This will be very close. If Zock wins this one, it doesn't look like he actually will. Although it'll be very close. Then it's basically game over for Funk. But Funk does win it, so maybe he can make some better units. Actually going Tech 3 air. Rushing Tech 3 air. We already see T3 scouts and a T3. Wow, that was extremely fast from Zock. Already T3 power. So Zock is just, yeah, this is excellent macro from Zock. Attacking with Tech 1 units and taking up really quick. And against T3 air, there's now ASF with T3 power. There's no way Funk can catch up to this. Making T3 air with only 2 P-gens, he cannot compete with a T3 power. And have more problems for Funk. Aurora's being so effective. Yeah, this has been a very one-sided game, it has to be said. Not sure if I'm a really big fan of this map. It's kind of crazy. You gotta be multiple places at once. But Zock did this very easily, with just doing a little more taking than Funk. Probably figured Funk could not hurt him, and he would have to do minimal work to grab the islands, given that he did invest quite a bit in his early Auroras. He did have a couple very early teams, I believe, like this one. This one's dead. It wasn't Aurora here, it was 6 kills. This one's 10, yeah. I believe this is one of the first Auroras made in the game. The first factory denied this engineer, and really made huge problems for Funk on this top side from the very beginning. A bit of an air fight now, T3 on T3, and this time FunkOff says he's out because T3 air domination from Zock, naval domination, map control, and 60-minute games for Zock. He moves on in the losers bracket.